Chapter 61 Training Mission. You are listening at novelfull.audio. With enough elixirs, Yi Luyun began to continue practicing crazily. //NCOM, the 4 training courses of Qi refining, body refining, bloodline refining, and soul refining are compulsory every day. Half a month later, Yi Luyun's supreme body broke through the 3rd level. A body at this level can directly resist attacks from the 6th level of true energy without causing him serious internal injuries, and even if he was injured, he recovered very quickly. Yi Luyun felt that the power of bloodline had finally been awakened by 10% through the continuous improvement of bloodline pills. In addition to increasing attack power and speeding up healing, the power of this bloodline also made Yi Luyun feel that his connection with the Order of All Gods was getting closer. His cultivation speed and comprehension ability have also been greatly improved as a result. This surprised Yi Luyun. Only 10% of the bloodline has been awakened, which has brought about such a big change. What if all of them are awakened? Yi Luyun was not only looking forward to it. The phantom eye technique he practiced was originally only used by him as a clairvoyant. But after 10% of his bloodline awakening, Yi Luyun felt that he could understand many of the problems that confused him before, so now he uses his phantom eyes to perform illusions, and even black pythons and vultures will be affected. So Yi Luyun not only pursued using illusions to trap enemies, he also continued to practice another move, using phantom pupils to search the enemy's memory. This is mainly used to obtain information. Although it cannot increase combat power, this move may be of great use on the battlefield. During this period of time, Yi Luyun was completely immersed in cultivation. Although there is no breakthrough in realm, the strength has increased a lot. In a flash, more than half a month had passed since Yi Luyun arrived at the preparation camp. On this day, Han summoned all 10 house owners to his main hall. When Yi Luyun arrived, there were already 7 or 8 house owners standing in the hall. He only knew Tian Yuan and Tyson. He had never seen anyone else before. Everyone was also looking at Yi Luyun. Unexpectedly, this kid with the 1st level of true energy actually defeated Tyson. You must know that these people are originally selected geniuses, and each of them can fight beyond 1 or 2 realms. It's just the 1st level of true energy. Wu Gang, the 2nd-ranked house owner, lost interest after taking a look at Yi Luyun. He has only one goal, and that is Xianxia, who is ranked 1st. After a while, Yi Luyun finally met the owner of the 1st stone house, Xianxia. He was about 20 years old and quite handsome. The realm is the middle stage of the 5th level of true essence. However, this man seemed a little arrogant. He only glanced at everyone from the corner of his eye and then looked away. What are you pretending to be? It's just that you practiced a few years earlier than me. Sooner or later I will change places with you. Wu Gang, the 2nd-ranked house owner, said angrily. Wu Gang seems to be in his 20s. But he is a whole level lower than the 1st owner. He is only in the middle stage of the 4th level of true energy. Yi Luyun glanced at these people, and it seemed that he was the youngest here. But if you think about it carefully, it seems that he is also the smallest in the entire camp. At this time, seeing everyone had arrived, Han Shan also came out, opened his mouth and cursed. What are you yelling about? Go out and fight if you can, don't start a quarrel here. Let's get down to business now. Then he announced. It's time for you to go out and practice. There's no point in practicing in the mountains every day. Recently, we have a mission to exterminate some roaming ferocious beasts, so I'll leave it to you. Suppressing bandits and exterminating ferocious beasts have always been one of the tasks of the palace. It is our duty to protect the people. Of course, I won't let you work in vain. Killed beast. Not only will the body belong to you, but there will also be corresponding rewards. Points can be exchanged for animal cores. There will also be people in Jinjiawi secretly doing statistics for you. With these point rewards, you can exchange them for various resources such as exercises, elixirs, weapons, etc. You can mention whatever you need, and we will convert it to you based on the value. The exchange ratio is 2 points for ferocious beast cores below the True Yuan realm, 5 points for the 1st level of True Yuan, 10 points for the 2nd level of True Yuan, 20 points for the 3rd level, 50 points for the 4th level, 100 points for the 5th level, and 500 points for the 6th level. Points, 7 times 1,000 points, 8 layers. There must be no 8 layers. According to our investigation, the 7th level of true essence is the highest. After you go back, you can form a team freely, with no limit on the number of people. Any question? If there are no problems, go back and prepare, we will set off early tomorrow morning. Someone asked aloud, there are also ferocious beasts at the 7th level of true energy, so what should we do if we encounter them? Han Shan rolled his eyes at him and said, what else can we do? If you can't fight, just run away. If you can't run, just wait for death. Everyone listened but no one laughed. It seems that this mission is still very risky. Yi Luyun also asked, what if the pet beast I raise kills it? You are considered the one who killed me. Han Shan replied simply, everything on the mountain is under Han Shan's surveillance, and he has long discovered Yi Luyun's pet beast. However, the preparation camp did not prohibit raising ferocious beasts. On the contrary, Yi Luyun was valued more because he knew how to tame beasts. No wonder Lao Qi and Lao Ba both said that this kid is a monster. Not only is he strong, but he can also make elixirs and tame animals. This kid is so evil, that Yi Luyun himself didn't even know that he had been dubbed a monster among these palace guards. Otherwise, why would Hans Han help him get the medicinal materials? Here, only by showing your own value will you be taken seriously. Everyone left the hall together and returned to form a team. Yi Luyun didn't know anyone else, and didn't want to find so many people. He only asked Yuan Long and Lin Feng. The two of them naturally only trusted Yi Luyun, so the three of them formed a team, with Yi Luyun as the captain. They also agreed that whoever killed the person would be the one who killed him, and no one would steal the credit. After deciding, the three of them started to work on their own. Yi Luyun evaluated his own strength. He is now in the late stage of the first level of Xianyuan. After reaching the Xianyuan realm, his breakthrough speed is not so fast. So with Xianyuan alone, he can fight the 5th level of Xianyuan, but the immortal tyrant body has reached the 3rd level, and the body's defense ability can resist the attack of the 6th level of Xianyuan. Coupled with the power of blood, the 6th level of Xianyuan can fight, but what about the 7th level of Xianyuan? In addition to the soul sword, there seems to be no good countermeasure. The illusion pupil can also play a certain role in restraining. His soul has also improved a lot recently. Not only has the soul sword improved, but the consciousness can also be extended to 2 miles away. But if you want to kill the 7th level of Xianyuan, there is still some gap. I can only decide when the time comes and see the environment. Fortunately, he still has Lei Ming and 2 beasts to help him, so he can deal with it even if he encounters a 7th level Xianyuan warrior. It just so happens that the food in his hand is almost gone, so it's good to replenish it this time. Lei Ming is too greedy. It hasn't been long since he started, and all the beasts that Yi Luyun had saved before have been eaten by Lei Ming. With the realm of Yi Luyun and his beasts, if they don't encounter a 7th level Xianyuan beast or too many 6th level Xianyuan beasts, then their team can basically sweep. The only thing that needs to be strengthened now is his bow and arrow, a long-range lethal weapon. His Ice Moon bow can only shoot warriors of the 1st level of Xianyuan and below. The 2nd level of Xianyuan depends on the situation. It is not a threat to warriors of the 3rd level of Xianyuan. Yi Luyun has to find a way to improve it to the point where it can threaten the 7th level Xianyuan warriors, so that it is possible to hunt warriors of the 7th level of Xianyuan. Thinking of this, he took out the Ice Moon bow and thought about how to improve it. Finally, 2 directions were determined. One was to strengthen the materials. He had ready-made metal ores for the bow body. His aunt had given him some before, and he still had some left. But he didn't have the material for the bowstring. The best would be dragon tendons. The other direction was to extract the power of lightning and the poison of the black python, and refine them into the arrows to enhance the lethality of the arrows. Thinking of this, he went directly to Hans Han and explained his purpose. Chapter 62 Different. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hans Han thought for a while and agreed to him, but the condition was that he would use his points in exchange, which would be doubled when the time comes. //NCOM Yi Luyun also agrees, so in the evening, Yi Luyun got a whole piece of dragon tendon. In fact, all he needed was 1 paragraph. In the afternoon, he had already refined lightning and python poison into the arrows. The remaining work is to refine the dragon tendons and better metals to strengthen the Ice Moon bow itself. before midnight, the transformation of the Ice Moon Bow was completed. It has been completely upgraded to a mid-level Xian-level weapon, more suitable for launching true essence arrows. And it can shoot arrows with 3 attributes, freezing, lightning, and poison. Yi Luyan estimated that even if this kind of arrow could not kill a warrior at the 7th level of true essence at once, it would at least have an impact on him. Lei Ming looked at the Ice Moon Bow that Yi Luyan had refined, and said to Yi Luyan with admiration, "Brother, I admire you so much. I have 2 daggers here. Can you help me improve them?" That Yi Luyan rolled his eyes at her. "I knew you were up to something." But he still looked at Lei Ming's 2 daggers, and finally thought it would be more appropriate to refine the poison into them, but her dagger is of high quality. The black python's poison is not worthy of this dagger, so Yi Luyan promised her that when he found a better poison, he would help her refine it. Only then did she let Yi Luyan go with satisfaction. Yi Luyan had a good sleep during the rest of the time. So as not to lose sleep while suppressing bandits, after a hearty meal in the morning, all the disciples boarded a flying battleship and rushed to the predetermined location. The battleship is not big, but they only have less than 200 people in total, which is just right. After boarding the flying battleship, Yi Luyan observed the team formation. Shi Jingtian did not join a team and acted alone, obviously not wanting to be dragged down by others. Except for Shi Jingtian, his team had the smallest number of people. Wu Gang's team had the largest number of people, with more than 40 people. Each of the remaining teams has more than 20 people. On the way, Jin Jiawei explained the map to them and determined their approximate scope of action, and Yi Luyan, a road addict, no longer has to worry about getting lost since he got the vulture. He has a soul connection with the vulture, and the vulture can help him confirm his route. The area where you are moving this time is called 10,000 Burial Ridges. It is a woodland with graves everywhere. You should be mentally prepared. Jin Jiawei explained to them. What are these ferocious beasts doing here in the tombs? Are they going to rob the tombs? Yi Luyan asked curiously. His question immediately attracted ridicule from everyone. Wu Gang laughed the most happily. What do you care about it? Just kill it when you see it. It's better if there are no civilians around to avoid accidental injuries. The Jinjiawi looked at Yi Luyan and said seriously, this is also what we want to know. The behavior of this group of ferocious beasts is indeed very abnormal, hunting and killing people in surrounding villages. However, judging from the current observation, the ferocious beasts do not have any tomb robbing operations. If any of you can find out their true purpose, you will make a great contribution and get the most points. Wu Gang blushed. Unexpectedly, Yi Luyan's seemingly childish question actually hit the mark. This can be considered a big hidden task. Everyone immediately started thinking about how to complete this task. Yi Luyan didn't ask again. Instead, he listened quietly to Jin Jiawei's various contact information and passwords. The battleship sent them to the outskirts of the designated location and released them all. To avoid going further in and being discovered by the ferocious beasts, there is still some distance in between, and they need to walk there by themselves, so the teams dispersed and headed towards their destinations. Shi Jingtian was the first to fly away quickly. The others also led their own teams and hurried in different directions, fearing that the beasts would be killed by others if it was too late. Only Yi Luyan was not in a hurry and walked at the end in a leisurely manner. When Lin Feng saw that the other teams were walking away, he couldn't help but feel a little anxious and urged, "How about we also speed up?" Yi Luyan smiled and said, "Why are you anxious? The activity range of the ferocious beasts is hundreds of miles around, and it is in the mountains, which means that they are not concentrated, and even if they are concentrated, they will not find them at once. So it is not bad." A while. When Yuan Long heard this, he nodded in agreement. In such a large area and protected by mountains, these ferocious beasts must be difficult to find, so he asked, "You said so, is there a solution?" Yi Luyan smiled and said, as expected of someone who has led soldiers and fought in wars, his reaction is really fast. Although my method may not be easy to use, it is definitely much faster than theirs. So don't worry, let them go a little further. Hearing what he said, the two of them felt a little more relieved. After a while, Yi Luyan's consciousness realized that the distance between them had widened, and he directly released the vulture. The vulture came out and grew bigger, startling Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng, a ferocious beast at the 5th level of true energy. Then they became excited. With this kind of bird, they are not only safer, but also travel much faster. So a few people took the vulture and flew directly to the predetermined area. On the way, they passed a village, but it was eerily quiet. They went down to check and found that the village was in a mess and there was a lot of blood. It was obvious that the beast had been looted, but even if Yi Luyun used his spiritual consciousness to search, he couldn't find a living person or corpse. Next we passed a village and the same thing happened. Based on the houses, each village has about 300 people. But with so many people, it was very strange that not a single living person or corpse could be seen. Soon, they arrived at the predetermined area. Yi Luyun was not in a hurry to land, but let the vulture rise as high as possible and patrol the entire activity range in the air. The vulture's eyesight is naturally not bad, and Yi Luyun's phantom eyes are unobstructed in the air, so he can see very far. Soon the entire terrain was in sight. He had already seen several other groups approaching the mountains. We even saw the figure of the golden armored guard hiding in the darkness. He also found traces of some ferocious beasts, but they were all scattered ferocious beasts. There are some ferocious beasts with low realms, and a circle of sentinels has been set up around the perimeter. There are not many of them. Yi Luyun did not target these ferocious beasts and continued to search, but he was also secretly wondering, these ferocious beasts were very intelligent. Surveillance sentries were actually placed outside. This is so different. Immediately, he also told his partners about his suspicions and reminded them to be more careful. Soon, 3 ferocious beasts were discovered closer to the central area, heading deeper into the mountains. Yi Luyun estimated that these ferocious beasts might be returning to their lair. So he asked the vulture to put them down far away, and then asked the vulture to explore the situation alone. As long as you fly high enough, you won't attract the attention of these ferocious beasts. After all, this is 10,000 burial ridge. It is also very common to see vultures, crows and other birds here. After Yi Luyun and the others went down, they chased after these ferocious beasts. But Yi Luyun's consciousness locked onto them from 2 miles away. If you want to capture them alive, I'm useful. The 3 ferocious beasts are all at the 1st level of true energy, and each of us can deal with one. We can't let them send out signals. First, destroy their cultivation. The 3 of them accelerated on their way, while Yi Luyun arranged tasks for them. How do you know it's the 1st level of true essence? Lin Feng asked. Yi Luyun just smiled and said, feeling. Lin Feng looked stunned, but Yu Wenlong was convinced that Yi Luyun had a way to judge the realm of the ferocious beast in the distance. Ever since he was defeated by Yi Luyun in the last competition, he completely admired Yi Luyun. Chapter 63 Precise Positioning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng ran quickly after Yi Luyun. Yu Wenlong suddenly said, is our direction wrong? The 3 ferocious beasts don't seem to be walking in the opposite direction. Yi Luyun said, I'm worried about being discovered by them when I catch up with them, so it's safer to go around in front of them and ambush them. Yi Luyun seemed to be particularly familiar with this place. He ran very fast and could lead them to avoid dangerous areas. After a while, Yi Luyun asked them to hide and wait for the 3 ferocious beasts to come. Sure enough, as soon as they set up the ambush, they heard the voices of the 3 ferocious beasts. This surprised Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng even more. How did Yi Luyun know that they would take this path? But at the moment they were just thinking in their hearts, but they couldn't ask. Do it. After Yi Luyun used his spiritual consciousness to transmit the message to them, he suddenly jumped out and directly attacked the black wolf walking in the front with 1 finger. Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng were also one by one, attacking the black wolf from the left and right. Attack passed. Both of them use swords, so when they attack, their attacks are very fierce. Yi Luyun's attack worked, directly piercing a small hole in the opponent's sea of energy. The opponent's true energy was leaked and he was instantly destroyed. Yu Wenlong also pierced the opponent's sea of qi with 1 sword. Lin Feng was a little slower, but he only used 3 swords to stab his opponent down, and then destroyed his cultivation. Yi Luyun immediately knocked out the 2 black demon wolves on the left and right, and then stared into the eyes of the demon wolf in the middle. he was using Phantom Eye's soul-searching technique to search its memory. He was not yet proficient in this set of techniques and it was his first time using it. So the first attempt was unsuccessful. Then he tried again. Although he could glimpse its memory, the time was very short. He rested for a while and tried a third time. This time, he got enough information. Then he killed the black demon wolf, dug out the core, and collected the body. After a while, he woke up the other two demon wolves in turn, using the same method to confirm again the information he had just searched. After that, he asked Yuan Long and Lin Feng to deal with the vicious beasts respectively. The two of them only collected the animal core, not the body. The meat of this demon wolf is not suitable for human consumption. Yi Luyun, however, accepted them together without any courtesy. What were you doing just now? Lin Feng couldn't help but ask. When Yi Luyun used the phantom pupil just now, in the eyes of Yuan Long and Lin Feng, he just stared into each other's eyes for a few breaths. But in fact, Yi Luyun had stayed in the opponent's sea of consciousness for more than an hour. Not only did he find the map to the ferocious beast's lair and understand the strength of the beasts, but he also learned some of the actions of these ferocious beasts. Nothing, I just looked at them. You want to stay alive just to take a second look? The two of them were completely confused, but Yi Luyun couldn't explain to them, so he had to keep silent. Then why did you take away all the corpses? Are you afraid of leaving traces? Even Yuan Long couldn't help but ask this time. Yi Luyun thought for a while and felt that the black python would also need to appear during the battle. Sooner or later we will let them know, it is better to tell them now, so he released the black python, and then let the black python shrink and wrap around his arm. The corpses are food for black pythons and vultures. I'll go. Another helper from the 5th level of true energy. Lin Feng and Yuan Long were both shocked. At this rate, their team should be the strongest team here. Seeing another ferocious beast at the 5th level of true energy, Yuan Long and Lin Feng felt much more relaxed. Lin Feng licked his lips and asked, how many of these ferocious beasts at the 5th level of true energy do you have in your hand? Take them out so that we can have peace of mind. Yi Luyun also had a dark look on his face. You think it's cabbage on the roadside? You can have as much as you want. No more. I only have these two ferocious beast companions. No matter how much, I can't afford to feed them. At this time, the thunder on Yi Luyun's shoulder started to cry, which meant that there was still her, so don't forget her. It made Yuan Long and Lin Feng laugh. The two of them could not see the realm of thunder, and they were both covered by the treasure. So they thought this pet beast was just smart and of no practical use. Let's go. Yi Luyun led them towards the robber group's lair. Wherever there are tombstones or underground ditches, he can avoid them one by one. You seem familiar with this place. Yuan Long asked curiously on the way. Spiritual consciousness explores the path. Yi Luyun explained simply, without saying too much, so as not to make the two of them suspicious. When they arrived at the herd's nest, the vultures were already squatting on the trees waiting for them. However, he did not gather with them. Instead, he concealed his presence and hid aside to prepare for a surprise attack. The task given to him by Yi Luyun was to sneak attack a beast at the 3rd or 4th level of true energy and kill it with one blow. Yi Luyun said to Yuan Long and Lin Feng, ahead is a lair of the beast herd. Get ready to fight. The ferocious beasts here include one at the 5th level of true essence, one at the 4th level of true essence, and 2 at the 3rd level of true essence. There are more than 10 at the 1st and 2nd levels of the true essence, and more than 10 at the 8th and 9th levels of the body refining. Yuan Long asked in surprise, how did you find this place? This is so amazing. Yi Luyun had no choice but to point at the vulture and give all the credit to the vulture. In fact, this den is just a temporary cave. It is still built under a dense forest, and vultures cannot be seen from above. Lin Feng swallowed and immediately stopped him. There are so many ferocious beasts. Don't be impulsive. Yuan Long also asked carefully, how do you plan to allocate combat power? I will deal with the 5th level of true energy, and the black python and vulture will deal with the 4th and 3rd level of true energy. You two deal with the others first, and we will come back to support you after we win. Yi Luyun said. It's a bit dangerous. Yu Wenlong said hesitantly. Yi Luyun smiled. Wealth is sought in danger. Okay, let's do it. Yu Wenlong agreed. He felt that what Yi Luyun said made sense. There were no risks, and there were opportunities. Ah. You two are really crazier than the other. Lin Feng was a little embarrassed. But I finally agreed. If you fight hard, the worst possible outcome is death. If you had had this kind of spirit, your level would have improved faster. Yi Luyun said with a smile. Then, Yi Luyun released the smaller black python and let it hide in the nearby grass after its aura was concealed. The task given to it was the same as that of the vulture. Both of them must deal with the ferocious beasts at the third and fourth levels of true energy as soon as possible, and then go to reinforce Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng. Otherwise, the two of them would each have to face the siege of more than a dozen ferocious beasts, which would be too much pressure. After arranging the black python and vulture, Yi Luyun and the others moved closer to the beast's nest. This is a small mountain kernel. There is a third-level true yuan at the entrance, and two two-level true yuan bears are guarding it. Yi Luyun thought for a while and decided to kill this third-level brute bear first. This way, when the fight starts later, they will feel more relaxed. He took out his bow and arrow and used his spiritual consciousness to transmit messages to them both at the same time. As soon as I shoot the arrow, you two will sneak attack on the two wild bears with the second level of true essence. The two of them nodded, holding the sword tightly in their hands. Chapter 64 Important Information. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yi Luyun used his spiritual consciousness to lock onto the third-level true Yuan barbarian bear and shot him with an arrow. Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng followed closely to kill the other two ferocious beasts. Roar! The third-level true Yuan savage bear was actually very cautious. As soon as it was locked by Yi Luyun's consciousness, it had an ominous premonition and immediately issued a warning, but it still didn't escape Yi Luyun's arrow and was shot in the left shoulder, howling miserably. Immediately afterwards, Yi Luyun fired his second and third arrows one after another. Even if it dodged to avoid it, it was still shot repeatedly, and finally died from the poison, but its several howls alerted the other ferocious beasts. Although the other two true essence level 2 brutal bears were reminded, Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng rushed over too suddenly. One of them was killed by Yu Wenlong's sword, while the other was also stabbed by Lin Feng, and then was killed by Yu Wenlong. Yu Wenlong worked together to kill. The ferocious beasts in the beast's nest roared and rushed out of the cave. The leader, a saber-toothed tiger with a 5th level of true energy, had a look of fear in his eyes. However, when it confirmed that the visitors were only 3 young people with the 1st and 2nd levels of true energy, it couldn't help but feel relieved. These young humans are just their food. It looked up to the sky and roared, and immediately several ferocious beasts rushed toward Yi Luyun and the others. Kill! Yi Luyun shouted loudly and rushed towards the 5th level saber-toothed tiger. Those low-level ferocious beasts were left to Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng. Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng immediately drew their weapons and rushed forward to face the ferocious beast that rushed towards them. The black python and the vulture also suddenly appeared and pounced on the 2 ferocious beasts at the 4th level and the 3rd level. The battle between them ends the fastest, with one hit killing them all. The vulture scratched open the head of a striped leopard at the 4th level of true energy with one claw, and the attack was very precise. The same goes for the black python. It bit a saber-toothed tiger in half in one bite and then swallowed it directly. The saber-toothed tiger at the 5th level of true essence pounced on Yi Luyun, slapping him down with his claws and roaring at the same time. Its roar is a sonic attack, a type of divine soul attack. I thought Yi Luyun would be suppressed, but then it bit Yi Luyun's head off in one bite. Unexpectedly, Yi Luyun didn't react at all. The order of the gods protected his sea of consciousness from all things. Moreover, Yi Luyun would only be slightly affected by a divine soul attack of his level even without the 10,000 gods order, and would definitely not be bitten by this saber-toothed tiger. Yi Luyun punched the saber-toothed tiger. The fist was mixed with the power of thunder and lightning, and with a roar, the saber-toothed tiger was blown away by Yi Luyun. He rolled around before standing up tremblingly. Yi Luyun rushed over again and punched the saber-toothed tiger again. This time, the saber-toothed tiger opened its mouth directly, spit out a smelly breath, and directly used its fangs to meet Yi Liuyan's fist. Yi Liuyan immediately burst out with all the blood in his body, his strength increased sharply, and he hit with one punch. With a click sound, one of the saber-toothed tiger's fangs snapped. The pain caused the saber-toothed tiger to scream ouch. Then, Yi Liuyan kept using his hands and punched the saber-toothed tiger several times, until it could only breathe out but not in. But he still didn't stop, and finally beat the saber-toothed tiger to death, and then stared into the saber-toothed tiger's eyes, searching for its memory. When all the ferocious beasts saw that their high-end combat power had been eliminated, they tried to escape, but were driven back by the black pythons and vultures. They attacked from both sides and eliminated them one by one. After Yi Liuyan also searched for the information, he punched the saber-toothed tiger to death, then dug out the beast's core and collected the body. Yuan Long and Lin Feng were also surrounded by several ferocious beasts and fought hard. Yi Liuyan looked at the situation and did not go to help them. This is also their experience. He can't be asked to take action every time. The two of them finally lived up to their expectations. After killing all the ferocious beasts around them, they were so tired that they lay down on the ground to rest. Yi Liuyan arranged for the vulture to continue flying into the sky to monitor, while the black python became smaller and coiled on his arm. He went into the beast's nest and searched around, but found no other ferocious beasts or property, so he returned again. We'll rest somewhere later, and quickly clean up the battlefield to avoid reinforcements from the ferocious beasts. Reinforcements? Yuan Long exclaimed. Will the ferocious beasts provide reinforcements? Yi Liuyan nodded. The ferocious beasts here were commanded by someone. After that, he went to busy cleaning the battlefield. After he dug out the beast's core, he asked the black python to put away the unnecessary corpses of the ferocious beasts, and he packed up all the edible ones himself. Lei Ming was not idle either, helping to put the beast's corpse into his storage ring. Looking at the corpse of the ferocious beast lying on the ground, Yuan Long and Lin Feng looked at Yi Liuyan with a hint of awe. They knew that this was all due to Yi Liuyan. In fact, they didn't play a big role. But Yi Liuyan has been taking care of them. After the three people quickly cleaned up the battlefield, they quickly evacuated. The Jinjiawi, who was observing in the dark, was also shocked at this moment. This guy is really amazing. Not only can the robber's location be accurately found, but he can also pick up a nest of ferocious beasts. He himself, at the first level of True Essence, killed a saber-toothed tiger of 5th level of True Essence. Yi Liuyan took them a long way before stopping to let them rest. Then, he greeted Jinjiawi, who was hiding in the dark. Master Jinjiawi, I have important information to report. Jinjiawi was stunned. I am at the 6th level of True Essence. How could this kid find me? He wasn't sure whether Yi Liuyan really found him or was just blind, so he didn't move. Master Jinjiawi, I really have important information to report. This time, Yi Liuyan used his spiritual sense to send a message to the Jinjiawi, and he walked out reluctantly. Yuan Long and Lin Feng didn't understand why Yi Liuyan was crazy at first. It was not until they saw the Jinjiawi walking out that they realized that Yi Liuyan's spiritual sense was much stronger than theirs. The Jinjiawi also said, You are training. If you summon the Jinjiawi without reason, you will be punished. I know. But this information is very important. I have to report it quickly to avoid delaying things. Yi Liuyan said. The golden armor guard also came over. Then you can tell me, it had better be valuable, otherwise you will be miserable. Yi Liuyan said directly, this group of beasts stationed here because they were cast a blood curse by a soul master and had to obey orders. To be precise, these beasts were coerced. The beasts with the highest level have the 7th level of Zhen Yuan. So the people who coerced them are at a much higher level. According to the saber-toothed tiger, the people who coerced them may have exceeded the Zhen Yuan level. They were coerced here, and their main task was to capture the nearby villagers. The people who coerced them needed to use the blood of these villagers to wake up a dead person buried underground. The beasts don't know how to do it. It's probably some kind of evil technique or ritual. The captured villagers have been sent to a cave in the center of Wanzangling. The cave leads underground. There is a big tomb underground. The master is in the cave now. The beast of the 7th level of Zhenyuan has gone to the central area and will be back soon. Speaking of this, Yi Luyun stopped and said, "I'm worried that the master will take action and wipe out the reserve camp. That's why I reported it to you." It turned out that Yi Luyun had just searched the memory of the saber-toothed tiger in its sea of consciousness and confirmed that it was consistent with the memory of the previous black magic wolves. He was still very cautious, otherwise he would have told this information long ago. Chapter 65 Rescue Companions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Jin Jiawei and Yu Wenlong were shocked when they heard this. 520 official website. Jin Jiawei was immediately shocked by the news that Yi Luyun said, and broke into a cold sweat. But Jin Jiawei also asked in confusion, "How do you know this?" Yi Luyun said simply, "I know how to control beasts." The Jinjiawi nodded. Seeing the pet beasts around Yi Luyun, he could understand that he knew how to control them. This means that what Yi Luyun said is true, so he immediately said, "This information is too important. I will report it to the superiors immediately. You wait for the order and do not go further into the central area." With that said, he hid his figure again and disappeared in front of them. Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng, on the other hand, looked confused and had not yet reacted, but Yi Luyun suddenly said to them, "Get some rest quickly. That ferocious beast at the 7th level of true energy is back, and he has brought back more than 300 ferocious beasts. He is about to come to us." As soon as the two of them heard the 7th level of true energy and more than 300, they immediately sat cross-legged and started practicing. The more true energy you cultivate, the more money you can save your life. Yi Luyun just received the message from the vulture. That ferocious beast at the 7th level of true energy is the king of beasts here. At this moment, all the ferocious beasts are being summoned to hunt down the murderer who destroyed their beast nest. In fact, when they started to kill those ferocious beasts, the Beast King was returning with a group of ferocious beasts. Fortunately, Yi Luyun and the others walked quickly, otherwise they might have been blocked by that group of ferocious beasts. Next, the entire 10,000 burial gang mountains became lively, and battles of various sizes broke out one after another. The ferocious beasts are searching for humans everywhere, and the disciples in the preparation camp are also looking for the ferocious beasts. After the two sides met, there was a fight. Yi Luyun and the others never received the order to retreat. What's going on? Didn't Jin Jiawei report it to the superiors? Or did the superiors have other considerations? Although Yi Luyun was confused. But since the order had not changed, he could only kill the beasts as much as possible. In the next 2 days, Yi Luyun and the others, relying on the information from the vultures, repeatedly evaded large groups of ferocious beasts, and specifically selected groups of small ferocious beasts to attack. Each time, the battle was ended quickly, and the beasts were eliminated without even leaving their bodies behind. On this day, Yi Luyun discovered that the situation had changed. Have you noticed that it's particularly quiet today? Yi Luyun asked Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng. Yeah. It's too quiet. Yu Wenlong replied. Yes, the information reported by the vultures is that the ferocious beasts have begun to push. Yi Luyun said. At this time, a distress signal boomed in the distance. Oops. Our people are in danger. Yi Luyun hurriedly asked Vulture to check. The vulture sent back the message that a group of disciples were surrounded by ferocious beasts. And all the ferocious beasts are rushing there. Although there are not many ferocious beasts left, their realms are relatively high, so Yi Luyun and the 3 of them immediately rushed to the location where the signal was sent. Wu Gang was very happy during this period and killed many ferocious beasts. There were more than 40 people in their team. They killed several low-level ferocious beasts when they entered the mountains, but the points were simply not enough. When I was worried, I encountered several ferocious beasts, so they happily pursued and killed them, and even deliberately let a few of them escape, hoping to find the beast's lair, but before they could be happy for long, they were ambushed by ferocious beasts. They were led here and surrounded by ferocious beasts. They couldn't understand how a group of beasts could have such high intelligence to ambush them. He led his team members to rush out several times without rushing out. Now half of his team members are dead. The ferocious beasts that surrounded him were extremely powerful, causing them heavy losses. In desperation, he had to ask for help from others. they are now trapped in a group of tombs and can only huddle behind the tombstones, waiting for others to rescue them. While he was worrying, 2 teams of players rushed in and joined them, but the sad thing is that the members of these 2 teams can easily get in, but they can't get out, and they are trapped here. After these 2 groups arrived, the number of ferocious beasts also increased. They charged again and lost more than 10 team members. It's over. We've fallen into a trap. These ferocious beasts are very intelligent. They deliberately didn't kill us all and lured other team members to rescue them, so that we could catch them all in one fell swoop. The 2 teams that rushed in later also realized the seriousness of the problem. If this continues, all of our people will be killed. You 2 come with me and hold back the ferocious beast with the highest level. Others, prepared to take the opportunity to break out. That Wu Gang finally gritted his teeth and made a decision. Although he was usually very arrogant, he was quite loyal to these disciples. Instead of escaping by himself, he made sacrifices to give everyone a chance. After Wu Gang finished speaking, he and the other 2 captains rushed towards the Beast King at the 7th level of True Essence. That Beast King is a one-horned rhinoceros. Not only is his realm high, he is also thick-skinned and has strong defense and attack power. At this time, seeing Wu Gang and the 3 of them rushing over, it roared at the herd, and then rushed towards Wu Gang and the others. Wu Gang and the 3 of them worked together to hit the one-horned rhinoceros on the head, but it easily broke through and knocked Wu Gang and the other 3 away. All 3 of them fell to the ground, vomiting blood, and had no strength to fight anymore. Wu Gang also had a look of fear in his eyes. This one-horned rhinoceros is simply too powerful and cannot be broken by them at all. The other team members organized a breakout again, but were pushed back by the ferocious beasts. Obviously, the Beast King's previous roar was to prevent these people from taking the opportunity to break out. Wu Gang and others were disheartened, but they didn't expect to be plotted by a group of beasts. At this moment, a ray of sword light suddenly arrived, slashing straight at the head and neck of the one-horned rhinoceros. The one-horned rhinoceros felt in danger, and released all its true energy, forming a body protecting true energy outside the body. Coupled with its physical body's defense, the sword did not cause any harm to it, and even his rhinoceros skin was not cut. The one-horned rhinoceros gave up attacking Wu Gang and the others, and turned its head to strike in the direction of the sword. Wu Gang and the others also screamed, Xianxia, that it was as if they had seen a savior, and finally the most powerful person they had been waiting for came to them. But can Xianxia be the opponent of this one-horned rhinoceros? After all, the gap in realm lies here. Xianxia also looked solemn at this time. Unexpectedly, his strongest sword could not even pierce the skin of this beast. The one-horned rhinoceros didn't let him think too much, stood up on its front legs and stomped towards the ground. Where Xianxia was, a spike of earth rose from the ground and stabbed towards him. Xianxia quickly dodged and took advantage of the opportunity to strike at the one-horned rhinoceros, but it was still of little use. Suddenly, whoosh whoosh, 3 arrows shot through the air and hit Du Jiao's side. It's just that the arrow penetrated very shallowly, and it fell to the ground when it was shocked by the one-horned rhinoceros. These 3 arrows were shot by Yi Luyan while the one-horned rhinoceros was attacking, and he had the perfect timing. If it hadn't been attacking, these 3 arrows wouldn't have been able to penetrate its body. The one-horned rhinoceros suddenly turned back and looked in the direction where the arrow was shot, but found no one. Although it knocked away the arrow, it felt an itchy feeling in the wound, indicating that it was poisoned. The arrow is poisonous. Hold it back. Yi Luyan sent a message to Xianxia to remind him. After Yi Luyan and the others arrived, they did not rush directly into the encirclement, but decided to rescue them from the outside to break the vicious beast's deployment. They were also secretly surprised that these ferocious beasts could surround them without killing them. It must be the Soul Master commanding them behind the scenes. Otherwise, based on the nature of the ferocious beast, he would never come up with such a method. Yi Luyan hid his position and did not shoot directly at the Beast King. Instead, after locking it with his spiritual consciousness, he shot the arrow in other directions. Then the arrow automatically adjusted its direction before shooting at the one-horned rhinoceros. Yi Luyan took advantage of the opportunity for the one-horned rhinoceros to heal its wounds, and fired a series of bows and arrows, specializing in shooting at some of the higher-level beasts. Even if it doesn't kill them, it will poison them and weaken their attack capabilities. Then he took Yuanlong and Lin Feng and rushed towards a 5th-level beast. At the same time, he released the black python and killed the beast in that direction. He then opened a gap and came out. The team members inside also took the opportunity to rush out. Chapter 66 Fighting for Credit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Only then did the one-horned rhinoceros find Yi Luyun, roared, and summoned the ferocious beasts to attack. At this time, other teams arrived in time, and another captain joined the ranks of besieging the Beast King. Yi Luyun saw that there were many people, so he stopped going up to join in the fun. Instead, let Black Python and Yuanlong lead everyone to attack other ferocious beasts. And he was using his bow and arrows to interfere with the Beast King. During the fight, Beast King and Shi Jingtian exchanged blows. Just as Shi Jingtian was blown away, Yi Luyun was hit by another arrow in the leg. Roar the one-horned rhinoceros was annoying Yi Luyun, and his arrows were poisonous, so it had to consume its true energy to expel the poison. This greatly limits its power. It tried to pounce on Yi Luyun several times, but was stopped by several other people. Shi Jingtian and the others also knew that the reason why they were able to fight against this Beast King was thanks to Yi Luyun's bow and arrow support. Otherwise they would not have been able to hold on. Only by keeping Yi Luyun alive would they have the chance to kill him. Moreover, Yi Luyun's arrows are poisonous, so the Beast King will definitely become weaker and weaker. So a few of them tried their best to entangle the Beast King. Yi Luyun shot an arrow at the Beast King's eye again, causing it to close its eyes in shock. No matter how powerful the beast's defense is, its eyes are its weak point. As soon as it lost its concentration, Shi Jingtian seized the opportunity and slashed it with a sword. As he was retreating, he was punched in the back by another person. Then Yi Luyun shot another arrow at the joint of his front leg. At this time, the vulture also pounced down to help the black python and kill the remaining 5th-level ferocious beast. The tide of battle immediately reversed. The other ferocious beasts were no match for them and fell down one after another. Especially with the black python and the vulture around, they had no chance to fight back. Seeing that the situation was over, the Beast King also calmed down. There were many poisonous outbreaks in his body that he needed to suppress with his true energy, and he was also injured. If it drags on any longer, let alone revenge, I will have to answer here. So it slowly backed away and suddenly ran away. Yi Luyun had been paying attention to it and knew that it was about to run away. The moment it turned around, it raised the corner of its mouth, raised its hand and shot an arrow, hitting the joint of his hind leg. The one-horned rhinoceros roared angrily, glanced at Yi Luyun hatefully, and ran away without looking back. After Yi Luyun shot the arrow, he chased it in the direction it wanted to escape. At the same time, Shi Jingtian and others also chased after it. However, they did not react as quickly as Yi Luyun. Yi Luyun had already put away his bow and arrows at this time. Holding the Wukong stone in one hand and holding the knife in the other. With a few flashes of his figure, he rushed behind the Beast King and slashed him with his sword. His movements were too weird. He was originally the farthest away from the Beast King, but now he suddenly appeared behind it. It didn't expect Yi Luyun to catch up with it so quickly. As soon as Yi Luyun's sword intent was released, it felt the danger and let out a wail. But the hind legs had been cut off by Yi Luyun, and his body turned somersaults on the ground. It panicked and its body-protecting essence dissipated. Yi Luyun followed up with a knife and cut off its head. Hand over the beast core. Shi Jingtian came panting and forced himself on Yi Luyun. Why? Yi Luyun asked. At the same time, he conveniently packed up the corpses of the Beast King. Wu Gang and others soon arrived. But Wu Gang didn't say anything. What do you think? Shi Jingtian asked Wu Gang. Wu Gang said, without Yi Luyun, we wouldn't be able to kill this Beast King at all, and he was indeed the one who cut the last blow, so he deserves the credit. Wu Gang was still grateful for Yi Luyun's rescue. Without Yi Luyun, they might have died at the hands of that Beast King. The other two disagreed. We fought desperately, but he just shot a few arrows easily. How can the credit go to him? These two heartless things. Yi Luyun saved them, but they actually downplayed Yi Luyun's contribution. Lei Ming couldn't help but bared his teeth and glared at the two people. Shooted a few arrows easily. If you have the ability, shoot a few arrows and let me see. Yi Luyan was also angry and said angrily, what if I don't hand over? Immediately, his domineering spirit rose, and he was ready to fight with them. At this time, the vulture and the black python also finished cleaning the battlefield over there and rushed to Yi Luyan's side. They all showed off their momentum and prepared for a fight. The two captains were frightened when they saw the black python and the vulture, and immediately took a few steps back. Especially the way the black python and the vulture stared at them made them feel as if they were being targeted by death, but Xianxia was not afraid. The long sword in his hand trembled slightly, and he was obviously ready to attack. At this time, in order to prevent them from killing each other, a golden armored guard appeared in front of everyone and made a judgment on the matter. In the previous battle, Yi Luyan effectively restrained the Beast King. After the Beast King escaped, he was caught up by Yi Luyan. So 90% of the credit goes to Yi Luyan, and the credit will be shared equally among the four of you. No more disputes about this matter. After saying that, he flashed and disappeared in front of everyone. After hearing this, everyone naturally could no longer argue. But the way Xianxia looked at Yi Luyan was even colder. This kid with the first level of true energy actually dared to take credit from him. If given the chance, he wouldn't mind getting rid of him. Yi Luyan didn't care at all, and left directly with Yuan Long and Lin Feng. The vulture continued to fly into the sky to monitor, and the black python shrank again and wrapped around his arm. These two ferocious beasts killed most of the high-level ferocious beasts, so Yi Luyan was the biggest winner in this rescue. Just a beast king with the 7th level of true essence is worth 1,000 points. Yuan Long and Lin Feng naturally gained a lot, but they were incomparable to Yi Luyan. Yi Luyan is not only strong himself, but also has two powerful ferocious beasts. Fortunately, the two of them had adjusted their mentality and would not even think of competing with that pervert Yi Luyan. In the following time, everyone dispersed to search for the escaped beasts. With the spiritual consciousness of Vulture and Yi Luyan, they killed the most ferocious beasts among the many teams. One day later, the ferocious beasts were almost invisible on the outside, and the teams began to move closer to the central area. Soon, they gathered in front of the cave that Yi Luyan mentioned before. This cave is so easy to find. The strong smell of blood could be heard from far away, and it was hard not to smell it. So as soon as everyone arrived in this area, they all gathered together. The cave is surrounded by tombs. As soon as Yi Luyan approached the cave, he felt uneasy, so he took Yuan Long and Lin Feng to withdraw from the area far away. The other teams are studying to explore the cave together. Seeing Yi Luyan withdrawing, they all sneered. Some people also laughed at him and said, "You are so courageous. Do you only want to take credit?" Although Yi Luyan was dissatisfied with their ridicule, after all, they were all companions in the Jinjiawi reserve camp, so he still reminded, "I have received news before that this cave goes downwards, and at the bottom is a tomb. The captured villagers were all slaughtered in it. There are masters who have surpassed the true essence realm here. Also, I think this cemetery is rather weird. If my guess is correct, it should be a weird natural formation. If you must go down, you can send 1 or 2 people in first instead of all going down together." After saying that, he left the cemetery far away. After hearing what he said, Tian Yuan thought about it and retreated outside the cemetery. Chapter 67 Fatal Underestimation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. It's a pity that no one paid attention to Yi Luyan's suggestions. Tyson even laughed at Tian Yuan and said, "What, Tian Yuan, do you believe that guy's lies?" Tian Yuan nodded and said, "He is not afraid of death. So I believe him." After Tian Yuan was defeated by Yi Luyan, he was given a pill. From then on, he had a better impression of Yi Luyan and secretly paid attention to Yi Luyan. He found that although Yi Luyan was young, he was very steady and unfazed by honor or disgrace. Not a timid person. "TSK, you're afraid of death and you can say it so confidently," Tyson said disdainfully. "Don't worry about them. It's better if they don't go in, so they don't have to share the credit with us." Another captain said. Wu Gang looked at Yi Luyan and the others and hesitated. "But I was still afraid of being ridiculed for being timid, so I didn't leave." But his team was the last to enter the cave. Tyson led people into the cave first, followed by Xianxia, and finally Wu Gang's team. Once inside the cave, the smell of blood became even stronger. These people held their breath and walked down the cave. This cave really extends downward. Yi Luyun is right. Thinking of this, Wu Gang immediately stopped with his men. The weird and gloomy atmosphere in the cave and the disgusting smell of blood made him feel uneasy, and he no longer worried about being laughed at. He immediately said, "Maybe Yi Luyun is right. I won't go down anymore. But I will lead people to guard the entrance of the cave." After saying that, he took the people away without looking back. However, he did not leave the area, but stayed at the entrance of the cave. When everyone heard this, they just sneered a few words and continued walking down. Yi Luyun, who was outside, couldn't help but frown when he saw only a few people coming out. "Junior brother Luyun, are there really existences beyond the realm of true energy here?" Yuan Long asked aloud. Yi Luyun said slowly, "This formation alone is already very complicated. If these people don't listen, I'm afraid not many of them will come back. I don't know why the Jinjiawi doesn't withdraw them all." That the Jinjiawi who followed them was speechless after hearing this. At this time, Yi Luyun's spiritual consciousness sent him a message and asked, "You didn't report the information?" That the golden armored guard had no choice but to reply, "We have already reported it, and the palace guards have their own arrangements." "Please report again, sir. This cemetery is a very advanced formation. It will not be broken at once. The disciples inside are in very danger." Yi Luyun said again. "Okay." The golden armored guard didn't hesitate and immediately reported through the transmission talisman, so Yi Luyun stopped talking and silently considered what he would do if something unexpected happened. Suddenly, Yi Luyun and the others felt a very strong real energy fluctuation coming from the ground. "Is there a fight down there?" Lin Feng asked in surprise. "This true energy fluctuation cannot be emitted by people in the true energy realm," Yi Luyun said after feeling it. Then, this fluctuation appeared again, and with this fluctuation, the formation on the ground was activated. "The formation is activated," Yi Luyun said to the golden armored guard. For a time, there were strong winds and yin energy rising in the place name. The soil on the ground began to tremble. There is only one road in this cave, without any forks, and there is no guard in the middle. People who entered the cave quickly reached the bottom of the cave, but when they saw the situation at the bottom of the cave, some people couldn't help but vomited. The entire bottom of the cave was covered with blood and corpses. Thousands of corpses were piled up like a mountain, and the blood was knee-deep. No one can maintain a calm attitude when seeing such a situation. What frightened them even more was that a rotting skeleton was sitting on the top of the mountain of corpses, looking at them with empty eyes. Even though they have no eyes, they look creepy. "Jie jie jie," came a strange laugh. "Sir, better blood food has been delivered to your door. I will help you fully resurrect right away." At this time, a man covered in black robes suddenly appeared in front of everyone. "Little guys, it's an honor for you to offer blood to adults." After saying that, he released all the pressure in his body. This coercion suppressed them all until they could not move. Even Shi Jingtian felt that the true energy in his body was solidified and could not move at all. Just by relying on the opponent's pressure, he knew that his opponent's realm really exceeded the true essence realm. Yi Luyun did not lie to them. It's funny that they also laughed at Yi Luyun for being timid. Now they were all filled with regret and fear. Their fate will be the same as other corpses here, becoming the nourishment of the skeleton. At this moment, they were all lambs waiting to be slaughtered. In front of this man in black robes, they couldn't even fight back. At this critical moment, two golden armored guards suddenly appeared and jointly attacked the man in black. "Humph, do you think I didn't notice you? What about the palace guards? They are all adults' blood food." That I saw the man in black robe speaking and lightly clapped his hand. With a bang, the joint attack of the two golden armored guards was actually broken by his palm. The two golden armored guards were blown away and vomited blood. The two looked at each other with horror in their hearts. The strength of this man in black robe far exceeded their expectations. They underestimated the enemy. "It's far beyond the true element realm, you should retreat quickly," a golden armored guard shouted. Another golden armored guard took out the transmission talisman. "But it's not asking for help, but telling others that the enemy's realm is far beyond the true Yuan realm. No matter how many people they come, they are no match. Don't send people to die. In that case, it will fulfill that skeleton. Then the two of them desperately resisted the pressure of the men in black robes and bought time for these people to retreat. Immediately, everyone felt that the pressure on their bodies was relieved and they were able to move again. As a result, everyone immediately started running outside. Xianxia was the fastest and ran at the front. There was even a stampede on the people behind. The man in black robe sneered and continued to attack the two palace guards. "See how many times you blocked me." That with two puff sounds, the two palace guards vomited blood and fell to the ground, unable to fight back. But at this time, the man in black came to them, grabbed them one by one, raised his hands, and their bodies were torn apart by the true energy, and they were thrown into the mountain of corpses. The man in black smiled with satisfaction and continued to chase the others. The people running behind were knocked down by him with one palm. However, he did not kill them directly, but knocked them all unconscious, and then continued to chase these disciples. He seemed to enjoy the process of chasing. In the end, only Xianxia, another captain, and more than a dozen team members escaped from the cave. "Run!" Xianxia called to Wu Gang, who was in a daze, and immediately ran in the direction of Yi Luyan outside the cemetery. Wu Gang immediately realized that there was danger inside and immediately followed him, but at this time, the shaking ground continued to crack, and then rotten skeletons crawled out from the ground. This scene made everyone's hair stand on end. At this time, two other palace guards also appeared, and more than a dozen golden-armored guards also appeared around the cemetery. "You stay outside and guard the remaining disciples. I'll go in and rescue them." One of the palace guards gave an order and rushed towards the formation. Chapter 68, Wisdom Arises Out of Desperation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Xianxia, Wu Gang, and others in the formation looked like they were running in the direction of Yi Luyan, but they couldn't reach it in such a short distance. 520 official website, but they didn't dare to stop because the man in black robe had already left the cave entrance. Yi Luyan had already taken out his bow and arrow and shot at the man in black robe. But the man in black robe didn't even dare to dodge. When the arrow landed in front of him, he fell down automatically. The man in black robe looked at Yi Luyan and said, "I remember you. If it weren't for your reminder, you guys would have been my blood food. It was you who delayed my plan. I'll give you a chance. Surrender to me. I promise not to kill you, but will also cultivate you." Dreaming. Yi Luyan put away his bow and arrows. He held the Wukong stone tightly in his hand. He knew that once this person came out, it would be impossible for him to compete with him. Even the golden-armored guards here rushed forward, but they couldn't stop the man in black robes. He could only prepare to escape. Yi Luyan also saw the situation of Xianxia and the others. With their running speed, they were still running in such a short distance. This must be related to the formation, but the sound seems to be unrestricted within this formation. Attacks launched from the outside in are also effective. So he had an idea and shouted to Xianxia and the others, "Come here step by step, don't run. This is a formation, it's useless no matter how fast you run." Then he shouted to the surrounding guards, "Attack those skeletons, but don't let anyone enter the formation." That when the man in black robe heard this, he was shocked. Immediately, he activated the formation and let the carrion crawling out start attacking, but all the golden-armored guards looked at the palace guard. "Do as he says," the man ordered. Immediately he was the first to attack. Sure enough, the attack worked. But there were skeletons crawling out from under the ground one after another, and they couldn't finish the fight. Within the formation, Xianxia and the others were also following Yi Luyan's instructions, changing from running to walking step by step. Sure enough, it worked, and they were indeed moving outward. And it seems that the slower you go, the more effective it is. And those who walk faster fall behind others. Keep one foot from leaving the ground. Yi Luyan summarized for them after observing their and the skeletons' movements for a while, but their situation is also very bad. Skeletons are constantly attacking around you. Although the realm of these skeletons is not high, they can't stand many. Breaking one body, another one jumped up. Moreover, these skeletons cannot feel pain, and their attacks will not stop until these skeletons are completely scattered. after the man in black robe came out of the cave, he did not move, but stood in place and controlled the operation of the formation. The palace guards who entered also encountered the same problem as Shi Jingtian and others. After getting Yi Liuyan's reminder, he was already moving closer to Shi Jingtian and the others. Yi Liuyan's phantom eyes have been looking for flaws in the formation. But he has never studied formations and doesn't know much about formations, but he knew that the core formation I must be in the big formation, but it was impossible for him to take the risk now, so, he told the Jinjiawi about the formation hole he found nearby and asked them to blast it to see if they could crack it. Soon, 2 more palace guards arrived. This time Yi Liuyan recognized them as Qi Xiong and Lu Wei. At this time, the palace guard who entered had already joined Shi Jingtian and the others and was walking out. Yi Liuyan asked them to go to that formation. At the same time, other golden armored guards also gathered together to bombard the formation or attack the skeletons from a distance to relieve the pressure on Shi Jingtian and the others. The man in black robe secretly hated Yi Liuyan and gritted his teeth. The power of the formation had to be mobilized to replenish the loss of that formation however, on the surface, he pretended to be nonchalant and laughed. Don't tell me that you can't break this formation at all. Even if you break it, can you still escape from my grasp? His words made everyone feel chilled. Yes. Even if it is broken, they are no match for this man in black robe. Immediately, some people stopped attacking. Yi Liuyan laughed when he saw this. I bet you don't dare to come out. If you could leave the hole, you would have come out and started it. Yi Liuyan had already noticed that the men in black robes were so strong, but they did not come out to kill them directly. Instead, they stood there motionless and activated the formation. He must have scruples. Shi Jingtian also reacted at this time and said quickly, there is a skeleton in the cave, absorbing blood. The man in black robe has brought back so many living people just to help resurrect the skeleton. Hearing this, Yi Liuyan confirmed his guess. If my guess is correct, the skeleton is still very weak. If you leave, are you afraid that he will be attacked or that his resurrection process will be interrupted, thus losing hope of rebirth? The man in black robe stopped talking. If looks could kill, this man in black robe might have killed Yi Liuyan many times. Yi Liuyan continued, after rescuing the people later, everyone will disperse. If the man in black robe dares to chase us, then the others will rush into the cave and destroy the skeleton. All the golden armored guards couldn't help but feel ashamed after hearing Yi Liuyan's words. They were not as comprehensive as Yi Liuyan. With Yi Liuyan's method, they were sure that the men in black robes would not pursue them, and this method is also the way to deal with this black-robed man in the future. Lu Wei also cast an approving look at Yi Liuyan, and then he and the others continued to attack the formation. Soon, Shi Jingtian and his group came to the edge of the formation, but they couldn't take this last step. Ha ha ha. It's useless. You can't break the eye of the formation. They can't get out and will eventually die here. The black-robed man laughed happily when he saw them frustrated. Really? Yi Liuyan's joking voice came. Yi Liuyan took out a few pills from the storage ring. He said to the people inside, get ready. When the formation breaks, come out immediately. Don't delay. There is only a moment of opportunity. The people inside nodded carefully and prepared to rush out. Huh? What are you going to do? You don't want to break the formation by taking a few pills, right? The black-robed man asked curiously. He couldn't think of any connection between breaking the formation and pills. Yi Liuyan ignored him and placed the pills directly at the eye of the formation. This was also a solution he suddenly thought of. The thunder spirit grass he got before was refined into thunder explosion pills in his spare time. However, he had never used this pill. This formation was a Yin corpse formation, and the lightning attribute should be able to restrain the formation. Although the formation could not be destroyed as a whole, it was still possible to break a gap in an instant. Then, he used the thunder fist, and with a sizzle, a bolt of lightning shot out and hit the pill at the center of the formation. Boom! The thunder explosion pill was pulled by the lightning power in the thunder fist and exploded instantly, directly blasting a gap in the formation near the center of the formation. Immediately, 5 people rushed out of the formation. Success! Yi Liuyan was surprised, but the time for the formation to open and close was too short, only enough for 5 people to run out. Chapter 69 Rewards Based on Merit. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Come again. 520. Yi Luyun shouted and placed a pill at the eye of the formation again. Boy! Don't let me catch you. Otherwise I will skin you. The man in black robe cursed. Yi Luyun was not moved at all. Another punch hit him, and the formation cracked a hole again. This time, based on the previous experience, the people inside were more prepared, and 8 people came out. Now there are only 6 people left inside, including the palace guard and Xianxia. They are responsible for blocking the skeletons and covering others from coming out first. Then, Yi Luyun once again put a pill into the formation eye. Guys, get ready. After saying that, he punched the pill again. The palace guard inside also punched with all his strength, knocking away all the skeletons around him. Then several people took advantage of the moment when the formation cracked to leap out. Everyone immediately breathed a sigh of relief. The disciples who were rescued by Yi Luyun also showed gratitude to him and walked towards him one after another. Yi Luyun saw it and shouted loudly. Escape separately. The palace guard was about to thank Yi Luyun, but he reacted to his drink. With a powerful enemy right in front of them, it was indeed not the time for them to say thank you, so he immediately ordered, disperse and evacuate. After saying that, he immediately grabbed 2 low-level disciples and ran out. At this time, Yi Luyun had already flown back. The vulture swooped down, just in time to catch up with Yi Luyun, Yuan Long, and Lin Feng, and flew into the distance without any stagnation. Qi Xiong and Lu Wei also chased in the direction where the vulture flew away. The palace guard just sent a message to them, asking them to protect Yi Luyun. The man in black robe stood at the entrance of the cave. Although he was cursing, he did not pursue him. This period of time was very critical for the resurrection of the skeleton, and he did not dare to make any mistakes. Otherwise, all your efforts will be in vain. Boy! I remember you. The voice of the man in black robe came from far away. After everyone escaped from the 10,000 burial mountains, they took different flying battleships and returned to the preparation camp. After returning, everyone gathered in the main hall. All the palace guards who appeared in the 10,000 burial mountains were also waiting in the hall. Seeing that there were only about 40 disciples left in the preparation camp, everyone couldn't help but lament. At this time, the palace guard, who went to rescue Shi Jingtian and others, stood up and said, "My name is Song Tao, and I am the 3rd palace guard. I am responsible for this operation. It was all because of my carelessness that I underestimated the enemy, which caused such a big disaster. Loss. I will personally apologize to the prince and give everyone an explanation." At the same time, he also made public what Yi Luyun discovered and reported about the actual situation. After everyone listened, they realized that Yi Luyun had not lied to them at all. But they arrogantly thought that Yi Luyun was timid, which was simply ridiculous. Because of their arrogance, they lost more than 100 disciples. They now both admire and appreciate Yi Luyun. After that, Jin Jiawei began to reward people based on their merits. Clear rewards have always been the characteristic of Jinjiawi. Don't forget about the rewards that should be given just because the losses are great. Otherwise, who will contribute in the future? Jin Jiawei announced the reward points everyone received this time. Yi Luyun's points were actually close to 3,000 points, even Yuan Long and Lin Feng each had a few hundred points, and Shi Jingtian and Wu Gang only scored a few hundred points. Others have even fewer points, some in the tens of digits. This does not include Yi Luyun's reward for obtaining information and breaking the formation to save people. Jin Jiawei, who was responsible for counting the points of Yi Luyun's team, explained, "Among this group of robbers, all the robbers above the 5th level of true essence were eliminated by Yi Luyun alone. He also attacked the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd levels of true essence. Killed a lot." Hearing this, everyone admired him even more. In the end, several palace guards unanimously decided to directly give Yi Luyun 10,000 points as a reward for his performance. At the same time, all the exercises are open to Yi Luyun for free, and he does not need to redeem them with points. Moreover, Hans Han will help him choose the technique. Yi Luyun has never exchanged points for anything, so he doesn't know the value of points, but seeing the cautious looks of the palace guards and the envious looks of the old disciples, he could guess that these points could be exchanged for many things. Moreover, he can exchange various exercises for free, and Han Shan can provide guidance. This kind of preferential treatment is not something that others can enjoy. He immediately thanked several palace guards in a hurry. Han Shan still said the same thing, "You earned it all by yourself." Afterwards, Han asked them to go back and rest, but those palace guards went back to report to King Tianyun. After all, they still need to deal with the black robe and the skeleton, otherwise more people will die. Now that the skeleton has not recovered and the men in black robes cannot leave, it is a good time to deal with them. Once the skeleton recovers, it will be difficult to deal with it. After the disciples returned, they naturally re-ranked and redistributed the stone houses. Even Yu Wenlong moved to the 5th stone house. Everyone asked Yi Luyun to go to the front of the queue. But Yi Luyun didn't take the ranking of the stone house seriously at all, and still lived in the 7th stone house. Everyone believed that Yi Luyun was at least qualified to move to the 3rd stone house. Only Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng knew that Yi Luyun had the strength to go to the 1st stone house. He killed so many high-level ferocious beasts by relying on his own strength, not by relying on his pet beasts. Wu Gang went out of his way to challenge him in order to get him to move his position. As a result, Yi Luyun casually hit him with a thunder fist, which burned his chest to black. He lay numbly for a long time before he stood up. "Why bother? I have to give you a healing pill." Yi Luyun reluctantly gave him a low-grade Xian-level healing pill. The stimulation Yi Luyun gave Wu Gang was really too great. He is 3 levels higher than Yi Luyun, and he can't even catch a punch. This shocked even the top-ranked Shi Jingtian. Even if he fought Wu Gang, without using weapons, it would take at least 10 moves to defeat Wu Gang without the ability to fight back, but Yi Luyun only used 1 punch. Doesn't that mean Yi Luyun has the strength to defeat me? This idea greatly touched Shi Jingtian. Go back immediately and redeem your points for resources and practice hard. You don't have to worry about me. I'm the same wherever I am. If you want to fight, just fight. Just give me a stone house. After saying that, Yi Luyun went back to his room. In the end, it was Yu Wenlong and Lin Feng who explained to everyone that Yi Luyun didn't take any pills at all, so it was the same everywhere. Only then did everyone accept it, and let him go. But since then, the 7th stone house has become taboo, and no one goes there to challenge it. After Yi Luyun returned, he immediately took a Yuan Ning Dan to prepare for a breakthrough, and this breakthrough went very smoothly. After these days of actual combat, Yi Luyun's realm has risen to the peak of the 1st level of true essence. After a condensing Yuan pill goes down, the realm will naturally break through and reach the 2nd level of true Yuan. After breaking through the realm, Yi Luyun felt that the true energy in his Qi became more condensed and the light emitted became more dazzling. He even felt that the glowing true energy seemed to have a temperature, and the temperature was getting higher and higher, and it contained terrifying energy. Yi Luyun is also happy that he is becoming stronger and stronger. The person I am now is really different from before. Now when he looks back at his strength in the body refining realm, he is just like a child. He practiced until dawn that night to consolidate the realm he had just broken through. Chapter 70 Spending a lot of money. You are listening at novelfull.audio. After dawn, he went to Han to exchange resources. 520 official website. So many points must be used, otherwise it will be wasted just sitting there. He went directly to Han Shan and asked Han Shan to help him choose the technique. Hey, your level has improved. As soon as Han saw him, he could see the improvement in his realm. Yes. We have reached the 2nd level of true essence. Are you too fast? You only broke through to the 1st level of true essence after the competition, and now it's not even a month, and you're already at the 2nd level of true essence. Han Shan asked in confusion. You must know that it is not so easy to break through the realm of cultivation in the true Yuan realm. It is much slower than the realm of body refining. Even for these talented disciples in the preparation camp, it would take at least 3 months to half a year to achieve an initial breakthrough in the true Yuan realm. In the middle and late stages, the breakthrough of the true essence realm becomes even slower. Yi Luyun also knew that his speed was abnormal, so he had to explain. Maybe he was stimulated by the 10,000 burial mounds, so he broke through faster. Han Shan nodded, without any doubts, and asked Yi Luyan what skills he needed now. Yi Luyan thought about it for a while. The body skills of volleying in the air, sky-cutting fingers, and phantom pupil skills were all of a very high level. I am afraid that the Tianyun Palace does not have higher level skills. So they could only focus on Thunder Fist and Ba Dao Ju. Han recommended to him a boxing technique related to thunder and lightning, the Purple Lightning Crazy Thunder technique, which is the top grade of Xian level. There is still a certain continuity with Yi Luyan's previous exercises. I recommended 5 or 6 sword techniques to him and let him take a look first. After Han Shan brought the exercises, Yi Luyan took them and looked through them casually before returning them to him. What? Are you not satisfied with these techniques? Han Shan asked with a frown. No. I've written it all down. Yi Luyan said. Huh? Have you written it all down? That the memory of cultivators is better than that of ordinary people. But someone like Yi Luyan, who can remember it just by reading it at random, is still too shocking. Han didn't believe it, so he opened a few pages to test him, and he was able to memorize them all by heart, every word of which was correct. Han Shan opened his mouth in shock, and finally sighed with a wry smile. Okay. This is the difference between monsters and ordinary people. Your achievements will be limitless in the future. I'm afraid this Tianyun Prince's palace can't even accommodate you. Han sighed for a long time before he remembered to ask Yi Luyan if there was anything else he could do. Yi Luyan had finished changing his skills, and the only thing left was to exchange resources. Han asked him to make demands. The first thing he had to change was the materials used for body training. Since breaking through the 3rd level of the immortal hegemony, the materials required for body refining have become even more advanced. The 4th level of body refining requires 5 elements crystals. He had already obtained 1 crystal each of fire and water attributes from the robber's den in Jijiakan, but the quantity was not enough. He needed at least 5 crystals of each attribute. He also needed crystals of earth, metal and wood. Stone. Han Shan opened his mouth and agreed to him, telling him that he had it in stock. Yi Luyan immediately collected 5 pieces of each type of crystal. Yi Luyan was ecstatic. I didn't expect the points here to be so valuable. You know, outside, you can't even buy one of this special crystal for 10,000 mid-grade crystals. Next, Yi Luyan simply asked for the 5-element spiritual essence needed for the 5th level of the immortal hegemony. This 5-element spiritual essence is much more precious than the 5 elements crystal stone, but Han agreed and only deducted 10 points from him for each item. Yi Luyan changed 10 copies of each. Yi Luyan thought for a while, and the next step was the ingredients for the bloodline pill. He now refines the bloodline pill using the Jin Yuan fruit. Not only is the Jin Yuan fruit of low grade, but his body has developed drug resistance. Taking a bloodline pill now has little effect. Therefore, it is time for this bloodline pill to be upgraded. So he proposed the holy yuan fruit to replace the golden yuan fruit, the blood lotus seed to replace the blood vein grass, and the true dragon essence blood to replace the animal blood. Of course, there is no real dragon blood. You can also use dragon blood or the blood of ferocious beasts with dragon blood, but Han told him that there was true dragon essence and blood, but it was more expensive. 1 drop would cost 300 points. Yi Luyan needs at least 10 drops. Change. Yi Luyan agreed immediately. These medicinal materials and dosage will soon cost you 6,000 points. Are you sure you want to change? Han Shan confirmed again. Exchange. Points are used to exchange for resources. Why not exchange if you have good resources? Yi Luyan said with a smile. Okay. Rich and willful. Han Shan reluctantly wrote down all these things. But they are all things that improve strength, so there is nothing wrong with them. Then, Yi Luyan exchanged enough materials for alchemy such as Yuan Ning Dan and Ning Shen Dan, and upgraded the levels of all the medicinal materials. However, these medicinal materials were relatively cheap, and he finally had more than 3,000 points left to use. Just change the weapons for the rest. I don't need anything else. Yi Luyan said. Han Shan looked at Yi Luyan and almost cried. Do you know how valuable points are here? The prices of things here are astronomical outside, and you can only exchange them with points here. Is it really okay for you to squander it like this? Yi Luyan said, I only know that if you have resources, you must use them, otherwise it will be dead if you leave them there. Change it, at worst the points will be used up, I will just earn them later. Hans Han curled his lips and asked him what kind of weapon he wanted to change. Bows, arrows and knives, the higher the grade, the better. Finally Han Shan recommended him a fierce sun bow. The attributes of this bow are exactly the opposite of the ice moon bow, it is fire attribute. It's a low-grade bow and arrow, Yi Luyan agreed immediately. If this bow is modified by him and has the functions of divine consciousness locking, lightning, poison, etc., the quality of this bow can be improved to another level. The realm of true energy must be invincible. Then Yi Luyan changed to another Qingyun knife. This sword is the highest grade of Xian level, which is a whole level higher than his original weapon, although Yi Luyan didn't care about the grade of the sword. When fighting, the stronger the weapon, the better. Now that he has the conditions, of course he wants to change to a better one, even if it improves his strength a little, he won't feel bad, but after replacing these, Yi Luyan still had 1,500 points left. I have to say that Jinjiaoi's points are simply too valuable. Yi Luyan felt like he had endless squandering. Change to a treasured alchemy furnace. The alchemy furnace he is using now is just an ordinary alchemy furnace with no special functions, so, he used all the remaining points to exchange for a Xian level top-grade pill furnace with a 30% chance of improving the level of the medicine. Han Shan was completely speechless. Judging from this guy's attitude, he won't stop until he exchanges all his points. In the end, there were only 500 points left. In addition to returning the points for Han Shan's dragon tendon, he also exchanged for a high-grade Xian-level dagger, as well as a lot of ferocious beast meat and medicinal wine. Hans Han asked him why he changed the dagger. He said awkwardly, it's used for cutting meat when grilling. It's too laborious to cut meat with an ordinary dagger. Hans Han was so angry that he had the urge to beat him up. After finally spending all the points, Yi Luyan felt relaxed all over. Hans Han looked at what he had recorded in his hand and couldn't help but curse in his heart, this prodigal son, with the way he spends it, no matter how many points he has, it won't be enough for him. Until Yi Luyan had left, Han Shan was still gnashing his teeth and scolding Yi Luyan for being a prodigal. In fact, even the palace guards like them use points to redeem resources. This shows how important these points are here in Jinjiawi, and these points are equivalent to giving them Jinjiawi a huge discount. Outside, many things are impossible to buy, let alone affordable.